Da-ba-da, da-ba-da-ba-da. Ooh, I am warm. Better take this off. This camera in the corner got a little wonky. It's a little bit tilted. Oh boy. All right, we streaming. We're streaming. Yes, we got the mic. We got the beard. It's growing. It's getting longer. It's an experiment. I want to see what it looks like if it gets really long. Oh, I just saw that in the chat. That's a good idea at some point. Like, I should do some kind of stream/video where I go over the sound design of some of the songs on the album. I kind of want to make a proper video about that. I'll make a little reel as well about statues, because there's some cool stuff happening in there. Let me close my door real quick. I open it for some fresh air. Bam. All right, that's better. My streaming program tells me I'm dropping some frames. The internet connection here is sometimes spotty. Will we ever see Complextro again? For sure. Hi, Leia. Do you do the Germany thing where you open every window and door and turn your home into a wind tunnel? Yeah, I like that a lot. Actually, so the room that I'm in here, it is in the basement, but it's like there's a door to the garden on one side of my room, so I can just open that up and then just tons of fresh air comes in. So that's my Stoßlüften, as we call it in Germany. It just, Stoß just means push, and Lüften means ventilating. So it's like push ventilating. I need to change my video resolution is what YouTube is telling me because of poor stream quality. Also, Fathom, thank you for the $5. That's so sweet. No, I'm not in a recovery center. I used to be for like a month. I went to rehab twice. I'm in the basement of Rob and Carmen's house. Rob is Dodge from Dodge and Fusky, and Carmen is VJ Neurite, my manager and VJ. Let me know if there's any issues with the stream, because YouTube is being a little... YouTube's giving me that yellow warning symbol. So, but I hope everything seems kind of fine. I hope everything's okay. Let me pull up the chat on my phone. Everything seems kind of quiet. Lagging here and there. It's a bit laggy. Yeah, let me occasional hiccups. Yeah, let me adjust the thing real quick. So I might just have to cut my stream for a second, and I'll just adjust the settings in OBS. Yeah, it says 27% of dropped frames over the last 2 minutes. I'll just stop this for a second. Stream will go offline for a moment, and I'll change the settings, and I'll be right back. Oh, hi Basti. Ich mache nur schnell Pause, weil ich die Stream-Settings... Okay, let's see if that did something. Stream health is better now, it says. Not bad. Okay. Video resolution is better, according to YouTube. It still says some dropped frames. I don't know if that's because of the resolution. What if I change to Ableton? I wonder if it's going to get better. But I mean, at least we have video and audio. You can hear that, right? Still a little laggy. Don't know what it is. I did increase the bitrate the other day because YouTube was telling me to. We are at, let me see, what is it? 1300 megabytes per second, Mbps or something? YouTube's not giving me any info. Let me know if anyone knows what I should be doing to maybe make it a little bit better. Or also, our Wi-Fi is just kind of bad sometimes. Audio is fine, video is freezing sometimes. Totally close the stream, restart a new stream. I'm gonna try the bitrate thing real quick. So one more time. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Okay. Ah? Oh. I'm a move around so you can check. Too many colors, someone says. And my mic is not loud enough. Thank you for letting me know. Let me adjust that. I'm also probably not close enough to the mic. And then if I switch over here, yep, this is all the way up. Maybe I can give this a boost somewhere in the properties. Now this is already mics at max. Maybe I can bring Ableton down a little bit so that on your end you can turn everything up overall. I think Ableton might be a bit loud. If I eat the mic, then volume is fine. You got the Michael Bay lens going. Oh yeah, I got smear. I got smear on the lens, but makes it look a little cooler sometimes. Okay, it's a good balance. Nice. Is there any secret tip for finishing any song from a 16-bar loop? Layer more and more and then work reductively by like subtractive arrangement, like duplicate the loop many times and start taking elements away and bringing them in, like every 8 bars or every 16 bars. And then you start doing automations and risers and all kinds of stuff. That works pretty well. It works especially well for genres like techno or tech house. I don't know how much it does for dubstep, because you might have a 16-bar loop that's a drop and it needs a little more intro maybe, and then that you might have to do that separately, or some different things for that. 500 money from Rilo Ken official. What currency is that? Thank you so much, man. Congrats again on the album release, Val. I hope you can come visit and play a show in the Philippines one day. Oh, so this is Philippines money. I would love to come there. Also, thank you, Thunder Sims, for saying keep donating to Val. Oh, you guys are so sweet. 500 monies. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Knock music. Hi from Russia. Hi back to Russia. Okay. I love interacting with the chat, but I have an agenda where I want to build a thing for you. And this thing is going to be an effects chain that's going to turn anything you put into it into some cool glitchy stuff without going too crazy. And I want to make some macros that let you adjust some things here and there as well. But let me see real quick, because I think we're just going to start with just putting a saw wave into it. Which laptop do you use? This is a MacBook Pro M5 with the M5 Max chip in it. I'm just gonna do this. This is gonna make sense. I just need some sort of input from this with a saw wave. And we're gonna do some fun stuff now. Are you really going to do that, making the loudest but cleanest dubstep drop? Yes, I do want to do that at some point. Not today. Today we're making a glitch rack, and this is going to be really fun. So, if you've been to my Patreon, you might have seen these fun little racks that I've made that are called like Chaos Flutter, Chaos Freezer, Chaos Vocoder, where I would just take an Ableton stock effect, like for example the vocoder, and then map a lot of LFOs, like all these random LFOs. They're all set to glider mode. I would like map them to different parameters in the vocoder. And all you can really just control is the dry wet of the effect and the rate of all of these random LFOs. And it's all like nicely tucked away here in a way. And then that gives you some fun stuff that is very unpredictable. just as an example with this EQ, or with this vocoder, also already pretty fun. But I want to build some stuff from scratch today, so I can show you how this works. And these are gonna become like little modules that you can then also arrange or duplicate in whatever way you want. Hydration checkpoint, yes, I got water right here. You don't know how much water I'm drinking every day. It's a lot. It's a healthy amount. I cannot answer the Ausler question. I really don't know a lot, so I'd have to ask Sunny. You go ask him. So if we just have a saw wave for now, I'm just gonna have that as like this basic input, and I'm gonna start with, since I want a kind of glitchy effect rack that creates some motion on top of our sound, some stuff that might be useful or enhance any type of bass or sound you're working on in an interesting way and create some cool variations. Oh, Dagmar Brunn, my mom's in the chat. She says, I'll call you later. Oh, thank you. Ja, kein Problem. Ich weiß nicht, wie lange ich streame, aber ich schaue dann, wenn ich fertig bin, schaue ich, wie spät bei dir ist. Dann kann ich vielleicht zurückrufen. Sonst morgen. Also, posture check. Good idea. Yeah. All right. So first thing is going to be a little frequency movement. So I'm gonna use an EQ with these peaks, with these bell filters, and I want this to kind of randomly move up and down and randomly move positive and negative with the gain. Yes, I want to stop vaping. I'm working on it. I'm very sorry. Today's just not the day. And how I would go about this would be we grab a LFO and we're going to set this to glider mode. In the past, I've made some edit of this LFO as well, because it's a Max for Life device. Because you know how all these LFOs, like the LFO, the envelope follower, they all come with this page where you can map it to 8 different destinations. But I don't really need that because I want a different random curve for every parameter. So I'm just going to need a lot of these. And all of these other modulation points are not going to be used. So I've made a little version a long time ago where this is edited, like edit in Max, and I just removed this entire thing. This is kind of, it's kind of, I imagine it makes it better for your CPU. But I'm not going to do that right now because otherwise it's going to make it more difficult for you to use this later on. Do you have any tips for when, oh my god, 65 money in another unknown currency? Congrats on the amazing album. What would you say is a good speaker and subwoofer setup if you only have $1,000 to spend? That's a good question. If you can get, thank you for removing the spam. If you can get a used pair of Adam A7X, then those are fantastic and you don't need a sub. I love those, but I am very biased. A lot of people say they're harsh. I don't think so. I really like them. You could get a pair of, honestly, if $1,000 is your budget, get a pair of Rockets and a sub. Any sub. They're not the world's best, but for $1,000 you can get Rockets with a really good solid sub. Like KRK also makes subs. You can link all of those up, and it's gonna sound really good. Please don't spam in the chat. Also, $20 from DJ Rubik's 3. Do you remember my mate and I in Australia? Bring Massive back. Oh, so those are 20 Australian dollars. Thank you very much. Yeah, right. A7Xs aren't harsh. I think the same thing. I met Skrill because we started talking on Twitter. It was actually Jazz Davis who was collecting songs for this Skrillex or Sunny Selects monthly thing on SoundCloud back then. And he found my song Disintegrate at the time. And Sunny really liked that one. And then he reached out to me. Just that was kind of like the starting thing. All right. Okay, let's start building this thing. Sorry, I like to pay attention to the chat, but I'm trying to be productive at the same time. So let's put one of these and limit it to 10% to 100% on the frequency of this point. So it's moving randomly up and down, and it doesn't go all the way into the sub-range. And then another one, this one, on the gain. Maybe the Q can go down a little bit to like 0.55. So now we've got some random movement, which is really nice, but I want more. So let's do another point and do the same thing. 10% on the frequency, 10 to 100%, and 0 to 100% on the gain. Now we've got 2 points. That one also needs to be at 0.55. I just want them to be equal. And at any time, we can kind of control the overall strength of this with the scale knob over here. Like, how much do we want this? How intense do we want this to be? Actually, I don't like the adaptive Q for this. I'm gonna turn that off. Because otherwise it becomes like this peaky, resonant-y spike when the gain goes too high. And let's have you at 50% for now. I might want one more of these. So first of all, also let's group all of you together, duplicate these two, and then map you to the frequency of this point and you to the gain of this point, bring you down to 0.55 Q. And now we've got 3 randomly moving EQ points. And yes, you can go crazier with the randomization. You could use a random LFO on one of these LFOs and like modulate the rate, for example, with one of them. But I do want to keep this okay for people's CPUs because we're going to have a lot of this kind of stuff in this chain. This chain is going to get long. Sorry, yeah, I'm trying to read the chat as much. What was the question? Retro Wolfie official had a question earlier. Sorry, I'm gonna scroll up real quick because you've been asking this a bunch. Can I ask quick? Do you have any tips from when you worked with Skrillex that he sort of taught you to get like a 2010s era bro step complextro feel, whether that be with Massive or such? Not that much, honestly. We sometimes nerd out a little bit about sound design, but his stuff is just a lot of like he'll make like a FM thing in Serum or in Massive back then, I guess, and or like screen filter stuff in Massive or FM stuff in Serum, and very quickly turn it into audio, and then do a lot of audio manipulation. Sorry, I cannot guide you on FL Studio. I have rarely used it, and I do not know my way around in FL Studio. $10 from the mothership. Thank you so much. Love the album, Val. How did the layered choir part and statues come about? Been stuck in my head all day. That is from a song by Enter Shikari. Okay, this is an important interjection real quick. Let me show you. Enter Shikari Solidarity. Beautiful song. And $5 from DJ Rubix. Thank you very much. We handed you a piece of paper in Brisbane saying to bring Massive back. Oh, wait, I think I remember that. Oh, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of Enter Shikari. They combine like trance / dubstep with metalcore. Like just check out this trance ARP, and then the guitars come in. So sick. Super cool. And this song ends with... So I just sampled that bit at the end of the song, and I did ask them if that was okay. So, because I've been like talking to the band and especially Rao from Enter Shikari a lot, and so I checked with them if they were okay with that, and it sounded like they just had gotten the rights back for that album, like the publishing rights or something. So this was easy to do, and I'm so happy that that was a possibility because love that entire album, love everything this band does. Okay, we've got we've got some random movement going on over here, and I'm going to link two macros. So one macro controls the rate of all of these. You can minimize them a little bit. And one macro controls the scale of the EQ. And let's just make this a little nicer so that maybe, I don't know, 20 hertz could be the limit for the speed, and the scale could go from 0 to 200, so that you can easily just turn this off. And we could, later on, put another random LFO on the scale as well. Why not? So, fun stuff. Someone asked, would you like to be in Russia? There are a lot of your fans here. I played in Moscow once. I wish the world wasn't in such bad shape politically, so I could more easily, without any worries, come and play in Russia and not have to worry about whether or not I'll be able to get back into the US. Electrons be like, yep. So we've got some movement. I'm put multiband dynamics in here just for some frequency control. And this can go really fast if you wanted it to, but 3 hertz feels kind of good for random modulation for me. So we've got a little bit of movement going on here. That's sweet, that's nice, but we need more. Also, to make these racks look a little bit nicer, you can, once you've assigned all these modulations, and I've mapped this macro here, we can select all the LFOs and group them one more time. It'll automatically create a macro here, and this is linked to this, and this is linked to all the LFOs, and we can just minimize this. So it's a little smaller, it looks a little nicer. So many donations. You are great. You are distracting me so much, but I love it. Thank you. $5 from Do Not Delete YouTube. A VR stream to make some bad news easier. Basement Bloom in San Diego is officially closed for business again. No. Your shows there were so sick. Yeah, I love that place. And $2 Australian from DJ Rubik's. Please use a massive bass in this track. I'm not making a track. I'm making a glitch rack. And we're just gonna use a saw wave, but the saw wave could come from massive if you wanted it to. We could do that. Let me assign some colors here just so it looks kind of nice. And then this is going to be our, I'm just gonna call this 3 random EQ points. So that we can load this up multiple times if we want this again. Oh, yeah, this is adding up sometimes to be a little intense, so maybe I'll have the scale on 75% for now. But so far so good. Let's continue with, if we want something neuro-basy, like since this might bright light behind the camera. Yeah, I know, it's also the smudge on my screen. We could do a similar thing with maybe an autofilter on notch, just to have like some notches moving about as well. And let me think here, because I do kind of want some stereo movement. So let me have a look. We could do something here similar to that again, where we have 2 LFOs on glider on 3 hertz. And one of them is going to control the resonance, and one of them is going to control the frequency. And I'm going to link the dry wet of this filter to a macro, so we have control over that. Actually, we should keep the same system, where this is on macro 2, and the speed of the LFOs is on macro 1. Just so all these racks we're creating kind of have a similar setup, so it's a little easier to handle. But now for something cool, we could duplicate this, and then I'm just in case what we're putting into this is stereo, I'm gonna just have this one take the left channel and this one take the right channel. Since this is a mono saw going in, nothing is going to change about it. But we can now also pan this left and right. So this was right, right? Yeah, right, left. So now we have some stereo movement going on there. Maybe we should restrict this again a little bit so that the frequency cannot go all the way into the sub-range and kind of leaves it alone a little bit. Though I guess it, yeah, 10% is fine. I'm just gonna do that a little bit. Kind of similar to what I did with the EQ earlier. And then, I kind of like it if there's some visual, so that when you open this up, you can at least see the filter. But with these two parallel chains, it's a little annoying, because you inadvertently have to look at this, because if you make that go away, then the whole thing goes away. There is a method I could do this in like a really roundabout way with but it's fine. It's fine for now. I'll just leave it as is for now. Let's give this the same colors. So everything's kind of pretty. Oh, that's not the same. Minimize this. You're on 3. I'm not in LA. I am in Minneapolis. What do you know about the band Smash Into Pieces? You should collab with them. I feel like I've heard that name before. All right, let me save this one as VR random notch filter left right. So we've got that movement going on as well now. Really neat. Let's keep it going. I've made this rack one. I have to remake it because I checked and something's broken in this. But so let's just make it from scratch real quick, because I think this is kind of fun. So I thought it would be kind of cool to have the volume be modulated randomly. Yeah. You can come in. I'm streaming, but people might want to say hi.
Oh, okay. I'm in my PJs, but
Oh, here's VJ on your right.
Hi. I'm in my pajamas. Sorry.
You gotta speak into them.
Oh, hi.
Apparently my mic is really quiet, so I gotta be close to it.
Nice. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm in my pajamas. I was gonna show Val the reel that we're posting today.
Oh, show me.
You want to see it? I don't have the captions on it yet.
Okay. Oh, is it the Fire BTS reel?
Yes.
Oh, yes, please show me.
Okay. You can react live to it.
Yeah. We can hold it up so people can watch along.
Okay, let me just go back. You want me to show it to them?
Yeah.
Like this?
Come with me behind the scenes of the Burning Out album cover shoot. It all started with Val's idea to light himself on fire after he saw the Corridor crew do it. I cold emailed Eric Linton, and to my amazement, we got a reply. Next, we had to assemble a team. I called L for photo and BTS, and Jabu for video, who we've worked with many times before, while Eric assembled his fire team. Day 1 of the shoot was all about planning shots and making sure Val was comfortable being lit on fire. I prepped a shot list in advance, and we ran through this with Eric so he could guide us on these ideas to make sure they were safe and also going to give us the content we needed. We only had 5 or 6 burns of 8 to 10 seconds each to get all the shots. Day 2, Val underwent the task of being coated in pounds of a secret recipe of cooling gel.
Secret recipe.
For a few hours, or he can get hypothermia, but it's essential to keeping him safe.
Yes, I am fire resistant.
Dressing him in layers of the gel-soaked clothes, El, Jabu, and I, and Eric tested shot angles and adjusted for exposure on a test burn. Finally, it was time to light him on fire. Eric and his team led the charge from here, ensuring Val and the team were safe. They were extremely professional and were the reason this wild idea became a reality. What people often don't see is how many hardworking people are behind making an idea come to life.
Oh, yes.
If you want to see more about the BTS or the final fire results, go check out Virtual Riot's YouTube.
Yee! Perfect. Thank you so much. So yeah, she does a lot of this kind of editing for reels and stuff behind the scenes, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Hi. I have a meeting right now, but I gotta go change out of my pajamas so I don't look like
All good.
this. Have fun in your stream.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Little guest appearance. Yes, it's me on the cover of the album. BTS just means behind the scenes. So this is the fire BTS. All right, let's keep going with this. So another idea was making the volume flutter. And for that, I could use this here, going from 50 to 0 maybe, or 0 to 50 to 0. Map this to a utility, and now we could get something like this, like a very basic volume flutter. But this is gonna sound a lot cooler if it's happening differently on left and right, and for different frequency regions. Also, KaiVRZY4261 with $5. Thank you very much. What do you use for your string libraries? Like in your track Embark and one of the projects you showed in one of your latest streams. Oh, a variety, like the LA scoring strings 3, Native Instruments session strings Pro 2, what is it called? Sony Cinema, intimate legato cello and intimate legato violin sound really nice. Native Instruments also has like Stradivari violin, like some solo string libraries. Orchestral essential. They're like, yeah, there's a couple of not Spitfire audio. I haven't used any Spitfire. Project Sam Symphobia. It's really good. No, there's Sonic Cinema with an X or something. They made these 2 libraries that I really like called intimate legato cello, intimate legato violin. Those are doing some like solo strings on top of the like the big orchestral ones, the ensemble ones in the background. Labs also has free strings, yes. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want this, but on left and right channel and in 3 different frequency regions. Yeah, Sonic Cinema, that's the one. And I want to be able to control this. The problem is, if I reduce the depth, this is going to go to 0. I'm going to have to do some math here really quick. Because I want this to... I want to be able to turn this to... When I turn this off, I don't want this to do anything. And I want it to keep the gain the same. $10 from Bloop! Bloop3514. I just want to say that I've been a fan of your music ever since I found your track Star Garden in like 2012. I love everything you make, especially the melodic ones. Thank you very much. Also, when is Superheroes 2? Yeah, like a good mashup like that would be nice at some point again, right? I mean, I don't think Superheroes 2 would ever happen, but I will be working on, you'll love to hear this, a lot more melodic stuff. Kind of working on a throwback EP volume 2 type thing. So there might also be some Complextro on there or some other stuff. We'll see. So, okay, I figured out now that if I do it like this, if depth here is at 0 and offset is at 100, then the gain here is stuck at 0, which is perfect. That's what I want. So I want to have a state in which this is not active and not doing anything and not changing the sound. Now I need to map this in a way where the offset is at 100. If this macro is at 0, perfect. And now if I turn this macro up, the offset starts moving down and the depth starts going up. So this is starting to make it quieter with this chaotic curve. Up until that kind of intensity. That's what I want, and I want to be able to control the speed. So let's put the rate on another macro as well. Now, I need this for left and right separately, so let's group this and duplicate it. And just in case our input is stereo, we're gonna have a left and a right channel selector here with a utility. And then this is also panned left and right. Let's see if that works. Yes. And now I need to duplicate this 3 times so we can do 3 different frequency splits, like low, mid, high, for this kind of action. So this is going to be the strength. This is the rate, that's correct. That stays the way it is. And now let's group this again. And duplicate and duplicate. I shouldn't have done this yet. No duplication yet. Let's grab an EQ3 and put it before this whole rack. $5 for no reason from Yolk with a cute little animation. Thank you so much. Oh, and this is your first time doing a super on a live stream. I feel so honored. All right, we have an EQ3 here. I'm going to link the low frequency crossover to a macro and the high frequency crossover to a macro. Move them over to the front here by just mapping them again. And then this is going to be the high, And we're gonna solo the high band, duplicate again. This is gonna be the mids, call you mid. And this is gonna be the low frequencies, call you low. And now we've got quite some chaos happening that I really like. This could be a little slower if we wanted to, and we can also adjust the crossovers here, of course. Like this one could go from 0 to 500, and this one maybe starts at 2000. That's a lot of movement. Moin126, again, you've given me some money before, right? Harassing you again with my $5 to say thank you so much. Free stuff from you never gets old. Happy to see you really listening to your fans. Also, hi. Well, hi back. Am I right in the... I wasn't sure if... I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but are you German because of the Moin? It's like a northern German hello. All right, let's apply some colors. Strength. Rate is green-ish. And then the crossovers, I'm just gonna make like this. And then we can make this smaller so it looks nicer. And we can also make this smaller so it looks nicer. People just posting, hi Carmen. You're like way back in the stream. You haven't caught up yet. Oh, hi 808. Everybody say hi to 808. He is an up-and-coming producer and his stuff is really cool, and he also makes his own visuals. His stuff is rad. Nice, so we have that movement going on now as well. I'm gonna add in another multiband dynamics just so we have more, bringing up the volume again. Neat, that's already quite a lot of movement. This could be stronger. Maybe, what's the best way to do this? Damn it. Oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. What if these were at 100? Then it would obviously go into the positive, but if the offset went down all the way, it would be better, right? Let's just try this real quick. Oh god, now I have to redo it for all of these? I'm gonna do it. Wait, first, before I'm undo all of that first and save this as one rack. VR random volume multiband split stereo. Just so I don't break anything. And $7 Canadian from Kaib K754. Hi VR. Will you ever come to Montreal? Also, when you gave out the Stealing Fire stems, you didn't put new energy. Any reason? I couldn't find the final project file again. I think there was something, or I couldn't open it anymore and it would just keep crashing. So I just couldn't do that one. I'm very sorry. I will also make stems for Burning Out for the whole album. There are a lot of vocals on there, so it's going to be a little difficult. Like, I can't just give out everybody's vocals because there's a lot of people participating on that album and a lot of collabs. I'll ask which ones I can give out. We'll do some remixes, of course. Like, I bet people will do some remixes first, and I don't want to give out the stems to everybody before some artists haven't had their chance to do remixes for a remix compilation. But then I will also post out Burning Out stems on my Patreon for everybody. Do you ever get bored, tired about making music? No. What's your strategy to cope with this? This kind of stuff we're doing right now. Just making nonsense effect racks that create some cool sounds with very little work. Okay, now that I've saved this, let me try out my theory. I need to increase all of the LFO strengths to 100%, but to make sure that it doesn't suddenly start boosting the volume. I mean, it could start boosting the volume and I just add a utility at the end that turns down the master volume. Like the whole volume of the entire thing afterwards? Because this is going to be louder now, right? Yes. But is it going to compensate if I had the offset go to -100? Yeah, let me get this. That's what I wanted. What about the in-between? Is it gonna mess it up? I need to look at this LFO while I adjust the strength here. So you are the strong boy now. Yep. And then if I move the strength down to like 50%, are we good? Nah, it's boosting then. Ha, it's not doing what I... Oh, you're on map correctly. You need to go to minus 100. One more check. Fuck. Ah, shit. Okay. Wait, that's fixable. It shouldn't be at 100% offset. It should be at 0 offset on the zero strength setting, right? So that you're at 0. Yes. Okay, that's the way to do it. Okay, so this is fixed. From 0 to minus 100. Let's do it for the mids. From 0 to minus 100. And let's do it for the lows. From 0 to minus 100. Good. Good. Everything looks okay. You go to 40. You don't need to go. I mean, no, you need to go to 40. That's fine. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Quick check. Oof. This didn't work. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good now. Yes, that works. Perfect. Okay, let's minimize all of that. So this is the improved one. I'm just going to call you number 2. $10, another Australian dollars. Again, DJ Rubik's. Shout out to my best mate that gave you the piece of paper in Brisbane, Australia. Surely bring Massive back. Please come back for a tour soon. Yes, I love coming to Australia. There'll definitely be another Australia tour. And on the topic of bringing Massive back, didn't we just have a company remake the Scream filter as its own standalone plugin? Those are some good news. I love that. Okay, cool. We have all of this happening, but now we need some more... There needs to be more glitchy stuff happening. One of the fun things that I really like to do is using a delay on fade mode and then doing this kind of stuff where this like moves up and down. This is really just destroying it right now. I'm gonna turn this off for now. And just to get a better sense of how this is going to affect our sound later on, I will load up a little Res. So our input right now is, I'm going to just turn all of this off. Our input right now is this. Then it's getting some movement over here. More movement over here. More movement over here. Oh, the Scream plugin is free as well. That's some good news. Let's put a limiter at the end of this just in case. And then this delay can do this fun stuff. Where it can create this glitchy like freeze effect almost. So for this, we're gonna have to build a much more sophisticated LFO because I want this here to only move sometimes. If I put a glider just straight up on that, it's gonna be way too chaotic. So let's see how we can do this best. Let's have you go from, first of all, let's map you to this and let's see, your lowest point is gonna be 1 point. That's a little low. You should maybe start here, 35, and then your maximum position can be up here. Yeah, this is 70. That's a good range. And now we need, so this is going to be on some random movement, but we need another random LFO to control the depth. And if we do this kind of bipolar mod thing and turn this to 0, now this is going to be a glider, and we map this to this, then only when this random LFO goes into the top half is it actually going to turn up the depth here at all. If this is anywhere in the bottom half, this is just off. So this is now kind of like only turning this LFO on sometimes. 10 RON. What is so many interesting currencies here today? Subscribe to your Patreon. I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night, Splice Eats Chairs. Nice, so now this is sometimes doing something. This is loud, I'm very sorry. Turn up the volume a bit. Okay, oh wait, you mean the volume of the mic or of Ableton or both? I'm like kinda at a limit here. This is some good stuff. We could even have another LFO. Some other people say it's so loud. We could even have another LFO sometimes turning on the ping pong for some stereo effect or the feedback. I might have another different one, like a different rack after this with another delay doing that. But this is kind of neat. Let's group you. Let's these speeds I just want them to stay that way. I'm kind of happy with that. Mic is quieter. I really turn up the microphone. Oh, I might have to do this. There might be a chance that you will stop hearing me because this is the stupid app that comes with the microphone. Okay, let me see. Is this still working? Guess this currency. Pln. 60 pln. Polish? Oversampled Secret Lab. Is that from Poland? No, Poland has euro, right? Does Poland have euro? I'm a stupid person. Yeah, we can increase the gain here a little bit. So maybe something like this. Did this get better? Did that even do anything? Oh, it's Polish. Okay, I was right. Poland has but the N. So the PL probably stands for Poland or Polish. But what's the N? It's like the name for, yeah, the very specific currency name. I do not know. Please tell me. When are you coming to Poland, bro? I'd love to. I'd have to come and visit Eric as well. Poland Nollers. Is the mic a little bit better? I think so, right? Nice. Maybe a tad down, someone else said. Did I go a little too hard? Let's keep it at 24 maybe. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna do the dry wet over here. And we might as well put the speed on a macro as well. And this is gonna be our glitch delay. That's sometimes doing that. And we can do an even cooler thing now. We could grab Spectral time and create a little freezer that sometimes hits the freeze button, and that's going to create something like this. Oh, never mind. This has to be 100% wet, otherwise it's not going to work. And maybe that should happen at the start, so that when it's frozen, it's still applying this movement on top. 15... What is that? Something from Israel. Big love from Israel. Hi, Ben O'Brien. Thank you so much. This is the stream of fascinating currencies that we've never seen before. Y'all making me feel very international. I feel very honored. That's so cool. Okay, let's create this random freezer. And we could maybe even have an LFO also sometimes randomly moving the spray knob for some movement like that, or the tilt knob for some movement like $10 from JFreshman23. Thank you for being such a huge inspiration to me and many others. I get insanely happy every time you drop new music, especially fun tidbits on your Riot virtual account. All the love from Utah. Thank you very much. That means a lot. All right, so for the freeze, since this is a button, you can actually use some more fun thing over here. Besides the glider, which is my favorite, like just random LFO shape, there's also bin. So random here is just random steps, right? And bin is just random on or off. It's just switching between these two states randomly. And that's a perfect on and off randomization. So we could map that to the freeze button. So that's pretty neat. More money, you're mental. Jack G Music with 10 Canadian dollars. I remember when reading somewhere that you got a Dirty Wave MA tracker a while ago. Made anything cool with it? Trackers are a lot of fun. Love the new album. I love that thing. I need to send it back to the maker because mine had like a tiny little fault in it, and I tried fixing it myself, but I couldn't do it. It was a very rare thing that happened, but I just haven't gotten around to sending it in yet. But it's so cool. It would just sometimes freeze, and then I'd lose my progress. But it sounds fantastic. Dirty Wave made amazing little tracker. And €6 from Aeon Gray. Val, can you make a World Cup 2026 song? Hell no. No, it's fine. It's like, I find the World Cup exciting, the Soccer World Cup, but FIFA is a horrible organization. And when I grew up, especially when I grew up, I had bad asthma. So sports, I just hated all kinds of sports. Just because, especially because all the boys in my class, during sports class, they always wanted to play soccer because they were just the biggest soccer heads. And soccer meant a lot of running. So that wasn't for me. And so because they knew that, they would just put me into the goal. So it didn't have to run a lot. But they were all so intense, they would not hold back with how hard they would kick the ball. And if they made it to the goal and I was in there, I got a lot of balls to the face. Yep, I just said that. It was painful. I hated it. That's why I don't like soccer. I'll watch the World Cup a little bit when it happens. Okay, I want to reduce the chance of the freezing happening a little bit. So I will grab one more and map this to the depth of this one. So this should... Yeah, only sometimes now is it gonna go up here, only when they both kind of line up. This should probably, I just want it to look clean, so I'm gonna map you from 0 to 50 to the offset here. Okay, so only if both, it's like an AND gate now. Only if both of these together are on, then it'll hit the freeze button. You can build logic gates like this in Ableton. It's kind of cool. 50 Australian dollars from DJ. Oh my god, please give this a listen. My mate made it. Type in Kuno B Saijo. I feel really bad now because you put in $50. I do not... If I start doing that, then there's going to be so many, and we're never going to do anything else. I mentioned this in previous streams too. I can't do feedback and song requests because it's only gonna get worse. I feel really bad now. Can I send you the money back in any way, shape, or form? Or can I do something else for you instead? You don't have to pay any money anymore for any super chats for me to see that. Just add me in the chat so I can see it a little bit better. $5 from Rafael Olivencia. Italian? Spanish? Sounds Italian. Hey, you're from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rican buddy. Hope I can bring you and your team back to Puerto Rico, but for an island vacation. Warm hugs. Oh, I would love that. Still feels like it's happening quite a lot, but it's okay. I'm gonna leave it as is right now. And then we need some more LFO action to randomly hit the spray button and the tilt button sometimes. Sorry, I need to not look at the chat for a moment to get some stuff done here. Otherwise, we're never going to get through this. All right, so the spray starts at 0. So I'm going to have this one go, are we going to do a mod? Yeah, probably. So that, first of all, if this is in the upper half, only then will it move the spray knob up. And then we could limit that happening by modulating the offset knob between 0 and 50 with another one over here. Also, this is going to sound better if we don't just hold a note, but do like a little bit like this. Nice, that's a movement. Let's minimize these for now. We could make some macros for that later. I want to put this entire freezing thing at the start of the chain. And €6 from Zerdaze VFX. Oh, you make visuals. Hey, Riot, your music inspired me to come back after 10 years. Wow. I work as a video editor now, so I'm kind of scared I won't have enough time. Thank you. Aww. But I mean, the good thing is, you probably know a lot about video editing then, so you could make some really cool videos for your songs. Nice, now we've got some movement on here as well. You just keep giving me money. Just once, please, one song on YouTube. Oh my god, and moin. Entschuldigung, in your song, I hope that I can show you have some gorgeous strings. In your question mark song? Oh, that one. I was wondering if they were sampled or VSTs, any links. Also, I'm a deranged Florida man with weird family and friends. Okay. No, the strings there for the it's from a contact library, but I made them, like, I had to make them manually. Let me find them real quick. I bounced them out eventually because I wanted to use them in other things. But they are here somewhere. Strings. These. So those are LA scoring strings. And this is the cello ensemble, I think, with legato. And it's 4 MIDI tracks to like make the chord and fade from one to the next note, so that like kind of like the MPE pitch bend thing where you play 4 notes at once and you bend them to the next chord. But because this library like didn't want to work with MPE that nicely, I just did it with 4 instances of contact. And stuff like this also sounds fantastic in a granular synth. Electronic beats music with 500 money. Hey, Virtual Riot, I love your latest album, bro. I always listen to all your songs. You're the best. Greetings from Argentina. Thank you so much. I hope I can come back to Argentina. I've only played Buenos Aires once, but it was so cool. I had never been there before, and I'd love to come back. Also, hi Lumpeschetti in the chat. You are just showering me with donations today. It's very nice. Thank you. I feel bad about the song request. We can't go so hard on that. I will, if we ever do anything like that, I will make like a dedicated stream or a Patreon tier or something. I want that to be more organized. I just don't feel good about it because I want it to be fair for other people as well. Also, let me clean my camera. That's a little bit better. Why do I look out of focus in it? I don't know. Okay, we've got this going on. We've got the random freezing. We have the random EQ movements. We have the... Yes, I've had braces. Vort by VR. Oh no. We have the random volume on multiple frequency bands if we want to over here. What was this? Oh yeah, the random stretchy delay. And I feel like we should do some more stuff. What about Disperser, but the Ableton phaser disperser? And first of all, I want that to only come in sometimes. So we're going to need sort of like an on-off switch again with the bins LFO. Set you to 4 Hertz maybe. and link you to this macro that's connected to the dry wet. And to prevent any clicks when this turns on or off, we can use the smooth parameter over here, just on like 5%. And you see how there's like a little bit of smoothness to the curve now when it goes on and off. And then we could have another LFO on glider mode with 3 Hertz or 4 Hertz on the frequency here. Maybe plus minus 25%. Oh, it's lagging again. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I dropping frames? OBS isn't complaining. Yeah, there's no automation. This is all happening with these random LFOs that are moving stuff around. So I'm randomly triggering the freeze on a spectral time over here. Oh, we could increase the quality too. We are randomly moving 3 EQ points around. We could increase the scale now. We are randomly moving 2 notches, like this, on the left and the right channel separately. Then we are randomly moving the volume up and down, separately on left and right, and separately for 3 different frequency bands. So it's these 3. Then we are sometimes turning on this delay while modulating the time on fade mode, which is creating some weird stretching effects. And now we're adding a disperser, all Ableton stock. This is all still Ableton stock. And the disperser is sometimes turning on, and then when it's on, the frequency center is being randomly moved. I'm gonna group that one as well. I just want to like keep all these things in their own little blocks here, so we kind of know what's going on. There's a lot happening. But we can do more. How many dollars per share? What do you mean? Oh, Ableton stock. Oh, that took me a moment. I gotta get a fresh Red Bull. I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch to the good camera. BRB. Also, the Argentinian donation from Electronic Beats Music, that must have been a lot, right? 500 Argentinian money? Because it's also staying, it's probably the same as the $50 from DJ Rubik's. I feel really bad about the not listening to the song, but I have boundaries. I'm sorry. It's like -$1. That would be actually hilarious if you could do negative donations and it goes back down. Tell us how much money you made from the stream. I don't know. Where can I see that? Can I see that on YouTube? Viewer activity? DJ, well, you are crazy. Please, once my mate gave you the massive poster in Brisbane. Okay, fine. Oh, I feel, only because you're making me feel so bad. You've probably given me $100 by now. That's crazy. Kuno B. Saiju. Oh. Okay, let me look it up. Is it this? Whoops. Is it this one? Okay, let's do it. We're not gonna do that again. I just don't want people to give me money for things I can't do. It's a nice intro. If it's bad, I will tell you why it is bad. Me. I can hear addictive drums. You can't hear it? Snare's a little overcompressed, but it's nice. Very epic. Yeah. You can just, from the open hi-hat, I was able to hear that's addictive drums, and it sounds like addictive drums 1, not 2. Someone said car commercial music. The vibe and atmosphere are really nice. Some good synth sounds in there. Very epic chords. The drums could be better. And then this is like missing some overall... Like these mid sections are really nice. It's a bit empty, but it's a good contrast. No, we're just doing this one. Because the guy donated about 100 Australian dollars. And I started to feel bad. I got pressured into this. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The chord progression is nice and it is very cool and dramatic. But someone said showcase music. Yeah, the snare is a little overcompressed, and I'm missing either some hooky lead melody or a vocal, like a lead vocal. It has room for that, 100%. So, also high oversampled one more time. Yeah. But other than that, it is pretty. What if they strike the stream now? Then I can cut it out in YouTube Studio later. Back to making a really glitchy rack that you can use on your own projects later. Yes, I will post this on Patreon. I feel like I wish there was a way, maybe any of you can come up with something like that. I wish there was a way, like I can reduce the amount of, like the chance of, for example, the disperser here being turned on with this bin LFO. But if I do that, if I add another one over here and have this control the depth of this one, like so, then if it gets turned on, like it's only going to get turned on if both of these are in the on state. Now it's always going to be like really short, for really short moments. And I wish I could make it so that the chance is just lower that it's being turned on, but if it is turned on, it's going to stay on for at least a little while. Oh, Ian Mechanic with 20 euros. Slam Academy really hits different with you, always picking up things I can apply right away. Love the way you break things down, super inspiring. Thanks for your work and patience, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love teaching at Slam Academy. Okay, this is neat. Maybe we can move it down a little bit. Nice. So we've got a random disperser in here as well. That's neat. We can do more. There's gotta be more. I do kind of want a cool little chance for a resonator, like for a resonating kind of thing coming in. And we can maybe just do that with a delay. Let's see. Like, let's maybe have this on randomizable between 10 and 50 millis, or 10 and 100 milliseconds. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I need LFOs. And then also, let me think. We're gonna need a bin again. I'm gonna do it on 3 hertz. Yeah, I'm gonna do the 2 bins in a row again as well. So 0 to 100, 0 to 50, map U to depth, map U to offset. And then, first of all, this one's gonna be smoothed out again. Yeah, good enough. And let's map U to both the feedback and the dry wet. And then we're gonna get a glider random LFO on 3 hertz on here. And just to check the range, let's turn off the depth, turn the offset down, and put your lowest point at about 9 milliseconds and your highest point at maybe 150. Yeah, that looks good. Turn you back on and see what this adds to the whole mix. Sometimes adding in a little is kind of the plan here. Oh god, more donations. Fieldshow with €2. Please react to Family Guy funny. Was my last dollar. No, we're not doing that. If we're gonna watch, if we were to react to anything, or if we were gonna watch any random YouTube videos, it would be Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And $10 from B-Side Drew. Hey Val, my housemate just came out and said, check VR stream. And I'm literally shaking from that surprise. Thank you so much for listening. Aw, thank you. And thank you for the $10. You guys are giving me too much money. I hope you can do something with my feedback. I hope it's helpful. Hi, Lemons. So this is adding some fun stuff now. We're going to need another multiband compression afterwards to just keep things in check a little bit. And thank you for another $1, DJ Rubix. Nice. This is getting more and more intense now. So this is our delay randomizer with a high feedback. I feel like we should also include the filter. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna need more LFOs. There's gonna be a lot of LFOs. I'm sorry, your CPUs might not like this once it's done. And we're gonna put one on the filter frequency and another one on the filter width. Fun. Just for fun, just to like see how intense this is now, I'm gonna just do an init saw wave. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I kind of want a more intense thing here and there to happen as well. Like, what if there was a bandpass? Like after the volume chop thing. I'm gonna add a bandpass, a quite narrow one. And we could have the dry wet. We could have it come in only sometimes. With a bin again on 5%. What am I saying? 5% smooth, but 3 hertz. Maybe use a beat repeater. Yes, I was thinking about that as well. Maybe at the start of everything, because that's gonna mess it up really interestingly towards the end. Like if we had a beat repeat at the start, it's just gonna like add some really cool artifacts. And then another glider on 3 Hertz on the frequency. Haha. That's pretty fun. This is there's a lot of stuff happening now. Let's group you together as well. That's a lot of movement. Let's put in a square instead, so it doesn't sound that much like farts. The only thing is the freezer here, the spectral time freezer at the start, doesn't really do much when it freezes this square wave, because there's no motion happening in the serum patch, but you can obviously use this on top of any preset. And then that freezer is going to do a lot more. Dark Sus Blade with 4,000. What is that? So much interesting currency today. Victor Rios, thank you very much. 4,000 cops. He just donated 4,000 cops. Yeah, minimal audio morph EQ is good for this kind of stuff, but I'm trying to do it all with Ableton stock plugins so that you can open this up on your end as well. If I wasn't, I would use, for example, a Spec Ops, because Spec Ops has built-in random modulation as well, and I've made myself a beautiful little glitchy fun preset where we have a resonant freeze, a smear, and an MP3 file all randomizing. I love it. RS Music with $10. I really like the glitches, but how exactly do you go about resampling them? Do you resample as is, or do you import some as wavetables, granular, spectral into Serum? Also, first donation. Love you, Val. Thank you so much. That's a good question. And really quickly, the mothership with $5. Kind of stupid question, but would it be possible to resample a growl through an old 90s rack sampler like an Akai S1000? I mean, yeah, you could, all kinds of interesting resampling you can do. You can also try and put growls through a guitar amp, like reamping them. That's kind of interesting, like set up a guitar amp with a microphone, but then send audio from your computer to the amp to play through it and then re-record that. That's some fun stuff as well. And thank you for the 20 Mexican dollars, TNG 14 Luxia. I'm probably not pronouncing a lot of these names correctly, but to get back to the question from Auris Music, I might keep the Spec Ops on for now just because it sounds really cool. I'd probably, first of all, pick a slightly more interesting sound, or we could put other samples. We could put this whole glitch chain on an audio track as well and run a couple different samples through this as well. But let's do this with the Res. And for maximum impact at the end here, we should put a fat rack. And then we could even randomly modulate some stuff in the fat rack as well. Like we could have the frequency shifters sometimes break out and move upwards. Sorry for loudness. This is gonna sound pretty chunky now. So I would probably go and record this. Like so. This is missing a few things. Like, for example, the patch should be going up and down in pitch a little bit sometimes. We could do that in Serum, or we could do that with pitch bend. Let me just show you. Actually, it's kind of fun with pitch bend. Yeah, delicious mud pie, right? We could set this here to maybe go down 7 and up 7. And then we can just do this over here as well. So everything's happening in the effects chain with the CC control. Now we have pitch bend here as a controllable macro. that we can like move up and down. And yeah, frequency shift or pitch shift is also a good idea. But now that we have the pitch bend here, we could have more LFOs. They just have to be after the serum because they're technically considered audio effects. We could have that on a glider that's mapped to the pitch bend, and then have another LFO turn that on and off sometimes. I think this is another bin moment. Yeah. Classic bin situation. To control this, like so, and like so. Oof, that was wrong. Oh, we didn't need the offset. I'm stupid. Like this. So now this turns it on sometimes. And maybe I want the chance to be a little lower, so let's double bin it by putting this here, and now we need this here. And that's now sometimes going to move the pitch bend for us, right? Yeah, there we go. Screw it, let's go octave up and down. Let's just go ham. Or maybe down 7, like down 12 is going to... Oh, screw it. Thank you for the 20 Mexican dollars. I really like your music, Virtual Riot. Oh, I'm coming to Mexico City soon. And Undefined, with $5, it says, my introduction to you was the 10-minute drop challenge. Believe it or not, it's been 10 years now. And I feel like unk. Let's do another. Yeah, it's crazy. It took me forever to realize that Underscores was the one that uploaded that to YouTube. Okay, now we've added that little addition to the whole thing. Oh, and I did want the frequency shifting to also happen sometimes. There's a frequency shifter in the fat rack that could do that sometimes. That would be really neat. So we're gonna need some more random LFOs. Yeah. This time, it's got to be contained to only go from 50% to 100%, because I don't want this shifter to go down. And then we might need some bins again to control that. So you are going here, right? Oh no, wait, if you're on, now we need the offset, because it's got to go to 0. So that it brings this macro to the center. Pretty much the center. 0 isn't perfect. It needs to stay at 64. There we go. Nice. Now that's sometimes moving the frequency shifter. And I do want to lower the chance of that happening as well with another bin. 0 to 50, map you here, map you here. There we go. Now we have randomized frequency shifting happening here sometimes as well. Favorite Alexis on Fire song from the Mothership with $4.90. Ooh. That was really difficult. I like To a Friend. I like Boiled Frogs or Boiling Frogs. They got so much good stuff. What's the other one? Is Ain't Love Grand from them? Or Hey, It's Your Funeral Mama? Or am I confusing it with Atreyu? Happiness by the Kilowatt. Oh, really good one. Sheesh. Okay, now we've really created a big old stack of things. Let's record that. Hehe. It's like Buff Eater, but cooler. was till the end inspired by Lunar. Yeah, I just kind of like, I had that chord progression, then I was like, oh, the Lunar melody would really fit on this. So now we have this crazy thing. We could go ahead and do some stuff to it with audio manipulation here. For example, a fun one is putting this on beats, forward loop, and stretch it. It's giving us all these cool little stutter effects. ARS 5000! And it's red. Take my -3 Argentinian dollars. Love you, Val. Thank you so much, Luke Tox TV. I have no idea how much that is in dollars. Can someone do the math? The chat is red. That probably means something crazy, right? That is €3? $3? That's awesome. Damn, I've never seen a red one. That's crazy. Thank you so much. That's awesome though. Any amount is fine, and I feel incredibly honored no matter how much you donate, or if you do not donate anything at all. You do not have to. But also, with if you're from Argentina and you're donating Argentinian dollars, then because it's a higher number, your super chat stays alive for longer and looks more dramatic. So you got a little upgrade there. That's kind of nice. Neat. So if you do this kind of thing, I'm gonna just duplicate this so I have a clean version over here. You could hit Command J and turn that into audio. So now we can see all the little glitches and repetitions that are happening as well in the waveform. Oh, that's a really nice one. And then I might actually go ahead and take something like that little moment I really liked. So I might just select this and hit Command J. And that's it. Because then this will show up under current project, samples, processed, consolidated as an audio file right here. And I'll just keep doing that with moments that I like. That's a cool one. Select that, Command J, and it'll come up here as another audio file. So I can just take them out of here. Same with the unstretched file. That's a cool moment. Command J. It's another sample over here. Jarb. Also really nice. Command J that. And then once I'm sort of done with a session like this, I'll just go into this folder. Obviously if I have consolidated, I did consolidate this really long one earlier. Obviously that's turning into a long file here, but I can just grab these ones out and put them into a folder and like name them or sort them. Like sort them into different folders depending on the type of sound. Like maybe really weird and glitchy ones go into a folder I call glitch. More tonal ones that are more like bass one shots, I'll put into a different folder. Or alternatively, we could even take the entire thing and put it into a simpler on slice mode. So let's do that as well. Let's do it one more time. Let's get another round of this. And I also want to play a couple different notes here this time. Like, let's do one moment where it goes up an octave as well. And maybe one where it plays a fifth up. So we just have a little bit of variety. And let's do 2 rounds of this. Obviously, you could just freeze this and then drag the audio out. Or you can do the resampling method where you just record it. So let's go. Nice. The strength of this volume flutter effect is the sub mono. Oh, probably not. That's probably really messed up. We could fix that too. But I just realized this volume choppy thingy that does the multiband volume chop, that should also turn on and off at times. Because I like what it does, but if it's on the entire time, it's just making everything super spectrally, super choppy. And I don't want that to happen all the time. Also, $50! We appreciate all your free content for the community. Thank you, Cure Audio. You sound like Cure Audio. Are you also a music production channel with tutorials and stuff? Your name sounds like it. If yes, then I've probably even seen some of your videos. Wait, is Cure Audio the ones that do the scream filter? that did the Scream filter? Is that why some people are saying go download the Scream VST? Yes! Oh! Oh, hell yeah. Everybody go grab that. Big shout out. I got your text. I haven't downloaded it yet. I haven't tried it yet. I'm so sorry. But they sent me a download as well, which I'm very thankful for. Let's get a bin going for this one over here. Nice. But we have another big old mod pie now, and we could put that in a MIDI track so that it goes into a simpler down here. And if we put this on slice mode, we can come up with all kinds of fun stuff. Like, quick example. Let's grab a kick and a snare. From the kicks and snares I made in the other stream, why not? Because consistency. When I tried to make Space Lasers type kicks, and we got a little weird. And made some strange ones. Let's just grab a couple. I always do this where I grab like 4 kicks and 4 snares, and then I can test them all out. That's got a nice clicky attack. That was kind of a good punch. $10, $9.99 from Senral. Thank you. I'm loving the sound design and understand everything in the rack, but what's the thing in the bottom left corner? It's been up the whole stream and trying to figure out what it does. Bottom left corner, you mean me? Or what is it? Like in the bottom left corner of this? Oh, or the CC control? I do want to help you out. So let me know what you mean. Probably means me. Okay. The info box. Okay, we got kicks. I do want to grab a weird one. I do want to grab a weird one just for fun. Another $10 Australian by B. Saiju. Have listened to your stuff since 2013. Will you ever bring Haunted back from the grave? When will the Preset Junkie supplier be open again? Bring Massive back. And I handed you the paper in Brisbane. Yes, I remember that. I will release a Serum 2 preset pack in the next month or two. Working on that. I want to get it. Want to get that done and make it sound really nice. And Haunted, that's a good call because I am also working on something like Throwback EP Volume 2, and that's probably going to have some. It's definitely going to have some melodic dubstep, some complextro, and some mid-tempo type stuff on there. And maybe we're going to go into that direction a little bit again. That would be cool. Let's grab some of these. And let's grab some cymbals over here. Let me just go into my splice folder for some hats. Just need some open. I really like that one. And some cymbals. Addictive drums again, here with the splashes. $5 Australian from Kanan. OMG. I don't know if you remember who I am, but hi, my name is Kanan. I remember we FaceTimed once and I cried, can you make a rack that adds delay to the kick? What kind of delay? Like a tonal delay? Like turning a kick into a tear-out stab? We're doing the glitch rack right now, and now I want to show you how to use the magpies to make something cool. The magpies, the mudpies, the magpies. Just delay. But why? It kind of sounds like one of those old movie Jaguar sound effects. Let's put in some of these and then the splash for the kick. the china for the snare. Let's make the china, let's pitch it up a little bit. Fade it out. Let's do 140. This clap thing could be a little shorter too. Let's move the kick and the snare MIDI to the sidechain trigger. And now that I put this long file into the slicer here, I sometimes just like to draw MIDI without even knowing what it's gonna do. I just try to think of like a cool pattern. Like we could so C1 is where the slices will start. So let's do something here where it's like maybe zip 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 ba da dee ba da dee da ba da dee ba da ba da do do dow ba da dee ba da dee da ba da dee dow. Right? Like some kind of pattern that rhythmically makes sense if all of these were like different bass sounds. But I don't know what the sounds are gonna be that are gonna be picked for this. Maybe they're going to be, oh yeah, might be nonsense. Also, let's throw some compression on here or an OTT just to like beef it up a bit because it might pick some quiet moments too. We're just going to fat rack it up. There was already a fat rack involved in making this, but I'm just going to put another one. That's a little short. I think the sensitivity needs to be a little shorter too. Little nonsensical, but we could just move the start position in this MudPie around, and it's going to trigger different slices for all of these. Very messy. Getting somewhere. Not the worst. This symbol is too long. We need this to be tighter. Right, you see the idea here. So this is kind of a fun way to play around with this and to come up with some ideas really quickly. Also, Riot3, shout out Riot3, with $5. Hey dude, I don't really know what to say this time. Just thank you for being so awesome and doing these regular streams now. It's a great inspo source. Oh, of course. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate the donation. A lot of you are just like people that are just starting music production, and you don't have to. If you support me on Patreon, that's more than enough. You don't have to give me more money. You're so sweet. Is that a Princess Bubblegum profile picture for Bloop Sky with $5? Please consider doing a glitch hop track for the throwback EP. Midness, Angry, and Fuck Gravity are amazing classics. Oh, thank you. Yeah, something like that. That would be nice. We need more resonance. We could just boost the resonance with the Pro Q4. Speaking of Pro Q4 and stuff like that, by the way, because these are like quite expensive plugins, I wanted to make another stream or video where we make the most expensive fat rack just using absolutely ridiculously expensive plugins to show that it just ends up sounding just as fine as the Ableton Stock plugin, Ableton Stock fat rack. So I've made this little Spectral fix preset for myself in Pro Q4 that just like catches strong resonances. But you can invert this too, so it boosts those resonances. Maybe before the fat rack to have some control. Interesting. It definitely does boost it a little bit. But also since we've like messed around with this, some of these parts sound kind of interesting. Like I do like that one, but this initial, I don't know if I like that one shot here though. But we could now move these around and find other spots. The hit on the 1 should be stronger, right? Sheesh. This is so messy, but it's kind of fun. Also, oh my god, Aura's music, another $10. Last question. I've noticed over the years we moved away from supersaws and more to super wide bass and glitches. What are ways to get a clean wideness on your sounds without overlayering, delay, hyper? I often, like, I do like some stereo widening tools, like the Infected Mushroom Wider. That's quite a nice one. And I do like layering. If I have a mono sound, I'll like duplicate the patch, make a very stereo wide patch where I duplicate the oscillators, like stereo detune and stuff, and mix that in slightly in the background. Things like that help to make stuff a little more stereo sometimes. In Serum, especially if you're using comb filters or something, the pan knob will give you quite a lot of stereo width because you get a slightly different cutoff for left and right. And for certain types of filters, like the comb filter, the comb filters, or the reverb filter, or the disperser filter in there, it'll create a lot of stereo width just from a slight difference in cutoff for the left and the right channel. Rilo Ken official with 500. Just out of curiosity, do you ever do any post-processing with your drums? It always amazes me how clean your snares come with the mix, and always struggled replicating that even with your sidechain technique. I mean, the samples, if the samples are clean and nice, then that's all you need. But I do sometimes, like, I might do a little bit of EQing, or sometimes the snare does get a reverb, maybe a gated reverb that I EQ a little bit as well. Yeah, this was a big old mess, but this was a fun experiment. You get the idea. Turn the filter off in the sampler. Barely a difference. But alternatively, something like the, what's it called? The super slicer would turn this into maybe an interesting pattern. So let's pull that one up. And I hope I can maybe at some point turn this thing into a plugin. That would be really nice. Because this is basically the same idea. We have a slicer, like simpler in slice mode, and we can load in a long MudPie sample like this. But then we can just hold down a note, and it creates the pattern, the rhythm, and the repetitions for us. We can randomize these 3 different things here. And if I just hit R and hit play now, it is creating like a little pattern for us, and it repeats it every bar, and it does little fills too. This needs more OTT afterwards. Right? But if I don't like that, I can just hit R, and we get something different. It's so chaotic. But there might be some cool fills in there. And if we reduce the sensitivity, we might get louder slices because it's only gonna put slice starts at the very intense transients. Yeah. You get the idea. Obviously, this is very chaotic, a very chaotic MudPie. And I'd probably just use this more for cutting out specific moments here and using them for fills and little glitches and stabs. Like that. That could be a good fill stab. Little glitches. There's some fun stuff in there. And you can always go harder from once you have this, once you recorded this, with either the beat stretching or another fun one is texture on with no flux, and let's stretch it ×2, and then we can like play with the grain size. And you can even turn this, you can draw that as an automation here with the envelopes. Now we need the DFX buffer override on top. Oh, I don't know if I have that. I should check that out. But yeah, you could draw like a little chaotic line, little chaotic automation here for that grain length, grain size. That did not work. Oh, this has to be all the way up for it to work. Okay, I see. I don't know if it's possible to add a randomizer to this specifically. There's gotta be something. I bet there's a Max for Live device that does it. Libby Sky with Libisky, I think, with $10. I've been listening to your music since 2016 for 10 years. Damn, thank you. And have always wanted to say hi to you. The first song I ever heard from you was Evil Game Boy, and it immediately got me hooked. Aww, that's awesome to hear. Thank you so much. Are you the... Oh no, I was just trying to figure out what your profile picture was. From far away, I thought it was also Princess Bubblegum. Thank you. That means a lot. You're also nice. But yeah, this is kind of neat. Another method to get some more glitchy goodness out of something like that, out of like a long sample. And the super slicer method works really nicely also with bass loops. For example, like if I grab a bass loop from like a pack I'm currently working on, try and find something. Do I have something long in here? Maybe this one? There's not a lot of cuts. But that sounded pretty good. And it's also, it's pitched down by 1 semitone. You can reduce the chop range, like how many of these it should actually use. So it can kind of come up with some cool patterns there for you. And if you don't like it, you can just hit R and get a new one. If I ever turn this into a plugin, I will let you all know immediately. We can also change the length of that pattern. Like this is set to a bar by default, and then it does little fills automatically. But if we change it to something like 3/16 notes, we get something like... Bap-a-down, bap-a-down. Yeah. If you put in a bass loop where it kind of stays on a note, then... Oh, we can try that one. There's not a lot of cuts. Hey. Hectic. Fun. Bird up. Alternatively, also putting percussion loops or something in here will give you some really cool percussion loops. I wonder if I grabbed like a drum loop like that. I'm just curious what would come out. It's a cool reshuffler of that. And melodic loops will also turn into some fun stuff. Like... a little glitchy loop I made. So you can kind of see where this can go. Something with a bass line is kind of nice, or something with chord changes. I can just be sitting here doing this all day. Fun stuff. But I feel like we did a good job at creating a nice little chaotic glitch rack. The only third-party thing is the unfiltered audio spec ops doing some additional glitchy stuff. But even without that, this turned out to sound really nice. And I'm gonna save this as a rack. Let me just clean this up real quick. So the CC control with the pitch bend, you can do that yourself, or in the patch, you could do some stuff like that. The rest, let me see if I can save 1 or 2 more of these as little, like individual racks, first of all. So you can play around with that too. This is the random bandpass. We didn't save that. Yeah, let's do a speed control for this one too. This doesn't really have a dry-wet control because that's being modulated as well. But let's at least have a chance to control the drive. And then this should go to a maximum of 20 Hertz. That's fast and chaotic enough. By default, that's going to be on 3. And let's color the things. And then save you as VR random bandpass. With on off. Oh, can't do slashes. Yep, that was great. Almost did that correctly. 25% drive should be the default. I did it again. I just wanted to update it. You die. You get renamed. Okay. So we have that one. That one's saved. This was the random delay stutter. This was the random disperser. That needs a rack for itself. So you can all control that separately. Yeah, let's do this. This one also randomly turns on and off, so you don't really have control over that. But with glitchy shit, you don't really want to have control. Too much control. So let's do this real quick, where we limit this to 20 Hertz and put you on 3.5 by default. Minimize you, VR randomized disperser. And then this is random resonances, or like random tonal delay is what this would be. We can link you all over here. And for this one, I would group all of these and then minimize them like this so you can still see the delay, so you kind of know what this rack is. VR random tonal delay. The unfiltered is not going to be part of this. I'm going to just move this at the end for now so I can save one big rack with all of this. And this would be fat rack with random random frequency shifting. That's a special one, I guess, just for this specific rack. I'll just leave that as is. Yeah, we don't want to see all of that. Just want to make this look as nice as possible. The multiband dynamics, I'm gonna minimize. What were you? Oh, the random notch filter. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make you small as well. Cool. Good stuff. We can group you as well. Make this look a little nicer. Did I save this one? We didn't save this one. Random freezer. Let's just save you like that. VR random spectral freezer. Nice. Limiter at the end, perfect. And then at the very end of this, let's group everything. Keep the limiter in there too. And Nice. So this is what it does. In comes a saw wave. Out comes this. So then this is the monster glitch rack. VR monster glitch rack. So that's the combination of a bunch of these together. So you can play around with all of these individually or load up the maximum glitch rack as well. Let's show all of these in Finder, and then I will... So we've got that one, we've got the random tonal delay, random spectral freezer, random disperser, random bandpass with on-off, the glitch delay, random volume split, random notch filter left-right, and the random 3 EQ points. Those I will put on Patreon in the next 5 minutes, because I will end today's stream here. So initially I wanted to make this a really quick one, but you were just derailing me so hard with all your lovely donations and questions, and 5 more euros from Florian. Florian G. I've been listening to your music for more than half my life. Thank you for everything, Val. Ganz liebe Grüße aus Thüringen. Grüße zurück! Thüringen? Ist das nicht eine olympische Sportart? Thank you all so much. And if you want to check out my Patreon, I'm gonna post a zip file with all of these racks there in the next 5 minutes. Please record your voice into the rack next time. Next time, I gotta go. I also really gotta go to the bathroom. I've been drinking so much liquid. Have a good rest of your day, and if you haven't seen it yet, check out my latest upload on this channel, where you see the long behind-the-scenes video about the Setting Me on Fire video shoot, where I explain everything and how it worked and how I didn't die. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye, everybody.